last night. Here's your wrestling news for October 18th, 2022, and we're kicking off with WWE Raw, which started with possibly the most perfect opening segment we've seen in a very long time. After costing Bobby Lashley the US title last week, Brock Lesnar was in Oklahoma City to finish the job, but Lashley was prepared this time. In the opening segment, hardly any words were spoken by the pair, but instead we saw a hard-hitting brawl, resulting in the destruction of the barricade and announcer's table barely 4 minutes into the show. The segment wasn't just physical, but made one thing clear: the match at Crown Jewel will be short and intense. This is probably the best way to go, as Lesnar matches can get repetitive if they go too long, and Lashley can handle short, painful outbursts from the Beast incarnate. The match, which is likely to go 5 to 6 minutes, will have a very real-life feel to it, and WWE would be wise to play into how Lashley has wanted a piece of Brock for years. While Lesnar usually emerges victorious, Lashley has been booked incredibly well in 2022, so while it's difficult to predict a winner, that makes the match all the more interesting. Raw's opening segment was certainly different to what we usually see on the Red brand, and fans were quick to react on social media. On Twitter, fans praised the segment, saying that this is the right way for Lesnar to make an appearance, as the brawl showed off the best sides of both men. Others praised WWE for opening up Raw with the segment, saying it was a refreshing change of pace to the typical 20-minute promo in the ring that usually kicks off the show. It was confirmed during Raw that Lesnar vs. Lashley will take place at Crown Jewel, and if this week's Raw opener is anything to go by, expect a highly physical, hard-hitting encounter in Riyadh next month. It was thanks to Lesnar that Lashley lost the US title to Seth Rollins last week, and the Visionary was in a great mood on Raw. In the main event, Rollins retained his title against Matt Riddle, but that only came after his next feud was teased. Earlier in the show, Rollins was confronted by Mustafa Ali, who said that he is the new US champion's next problem. After the Riddle match, Ali laid out Rollins, and it was surprising to see the former Retribution leader be the one standing tall after the main event of the show. It's clear that Rollins vs. Ali is the direction WWE is going with for Crown Jewel 2022, and we're all for it. It was only earlier this year that Ali wanted to leave WWE, and after some shaky booking, he seems to be doing much better in this new era. Ali may be doing well, but we don't see the title changing hands, given how Seth only recently won the title after a 3-year championship drought. Mustafa Ali will likely not be leaving Saudi Arabia as the new US champion, but we can't count out a future title run down the line, something that is much overdue for the talented high flyer. When Bray Wyatt returned to WWE at Extreme Rules 2022, the crowd in the Wells Fargo Center was understandably excited. Since his return, fans have discussed and debated what plans the company has for him, with the popular belief being that a stable, dubbed the Wyatt 6, is in the works. WWE fans don't know exactly what is coming next, but apparently those in the company don't know either. Speaking on TSN Radio, Dave Meltzer explained how there has been a lot of conflicting reports in WWE about the plans for Bray, saying, "I've certainly heard names for a faction, but then I heard other people say those aren't the names, and someone even told me it's not even all worked out exactly how it's all gonna go down." Several names have been rumored for the Wyatt 6, including Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Joe Gacy, and Grayson Waller, and while fans may not know what's coming, those working on Wyatt's creative are apparently not too sure either. Earlier this year, questions were raised about WWE possibly going up for sale after Nick Khan said that the company would consider all offers. The idea of WWE being sold was again discussed after Vince McMahon retired in July, with names including Netflix, Apple, Amazon, and even Warner Media being considered possible buyers. Now the people behind UFC have thrown their names in, as during an appearance on the Town podcast, Mark Shapiro, the CEO of UFC's parent company Endeavor, discussed a possible sale. That would be something that would be interesting and worth exploring. Would we buy it? Who knows? Last I checked, it wasn't for sale. We're interested in anything in the owned sports properties segment. Market research estimates that WWE has a market value of close to $5.63 billion, so while buying the company would be pricey, it's something Endeavor could afford. 2022 has been a wild year for WWE, from mass releases to the return of Cody Rhodes and the retirement of Vince McMahon, but we'll have to see if Khan and Stephanie McMahon ever puts WWE up for grabs. We've got some unfortunate news from Triple H now, as WWE's head of creative and head of talent relations has tested positive. On Twitter, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter confirmed that the game has tested positive and was forced to miss last night's Raw from Oklahoma. Not only did Triple H miss last night's show, but he will also miss tonight's NXT, which will see several main roster stars appear to combat AEW Dynamite, which has been moved due to Major League Baseball. Triple H is just the latest big name to test positive, as top stars including Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and Roman Reigns have all tested positive in the past. With Triple H out of action, we expect Shawn Michaels and other higher-ups will be running the show for the time being, and we're wishing the King of Kings a very speedy recovery. As head of talent relations and creative, the game's absence is a huge loss to WWE's production, and there has been speculation on who is filling his very large shoes. According to reports from PW Insider, WWE Senior Vice President of Live Events Road Dogg Jesse James has stepped in as the man in charge and oversaw last night's Raw. Road Dogg has worked backstage in WWE for years and was working alongside the Cerebral Assassin during last week's SmackDown, and last night's show seemingly went off without a hitch. Hopefully Triple H is back in time for Crown Jewel, but that will only happen if he's testing negative, and until then, the King of Kings is out of commission. When you see Bobby Lashley on WWE programming, the first thing you'll notice is his impressive physique, as the former world champion is absolutely ripped. Lashley's physique isn't just for show, as he's also one of WWE's strongest athletes working today, but there was a time when the Almighty wanted to let himself go. Appearing on the Not Sam Wrestling podcast, Lashley recalled pitching an idea to Vince McMahon which would have seen the former champion gain a considerable amount of weight. I told Vince a year ago, I think a year or two ago, I told him, I want to do this character. He said, what is it? I said, if I get beat one time, I want to go into the severe depression and put on like 40, 50, 60, or 70 pounds and just be fat, and then be a completely different character, and then have like somebody like an MVP or somebody that's on my side kind of like pull me back, and then have the crowd watch his transition back to me. He said, there's no way you can do that. I said, man, I think I can. Ultimately, the depression angle didn't go ahead, but Lashley was paired with MVP, who proved to be a fantastic manager for the Almighty before betraying him earlier this year. Depression and weight gain can be very sensitive subjects, and WWE has often not dealt with mental health storylines well, so it's probably for the best that this angle was canned. At last week's AAA TripleMania event, WWE SmackDown superstar Rey Mysterio opened the show with a video welcoming fans to the event. Given how WWE has infamously not played well with others, fans were shocked to see Mysterio on the show, but one name who didn't appear was Kenny Omega. Omega has been associated with AAA in the past, but it turns out that his current actions kept him from the show. In a video, AAA's new head of talent, Conan, confirmed that he asked Omega to send a video for the event that would be aired at the winner of the AAA Mega Championship match between Rey Fenix and El Hijo del Vikingo. Unfortunately for Conan, Omega explained that he couldn't due to his suspension from AEW, as the investigation into the all-out backstage fight is preventing him from doing anything with any promotion. Omega is a former Mega Champion and would have certainly made headlines if he was at TripleMania, even in a video message, but he never got the chance to walk through the forbidden door. More from Raw now, as this week's show marked the return of John Bradshaw Layfield in the Texans' first in-ring segment in nearly 2 years. Sure, we've seen JBL do guest commentary, and he appeared for The Undertaker's Final Farewell in November 2020, but this week's Raw was Bradshaw doing what he does best. Appearing in the ring, JBL was in full heel mode and announced that he will be managing Baron Corbin moving forward. Corbin had been traded to Raw as part of Rey Mysterio's move to SmackDown, and aligning with JBL has already paid off, with Corbin getting a win over Dolph Ziggler. This win broke what had been a 4-month losing streak for the former Constable, as he and JBL will be able to work off of each other excellently as two of wrestling's most loathed heels. Baron Corbin's manager is something that JBL has openly discussed in the past, and now he and the Lone Wolf will be a cohesive unit moving forward. Raw also saw the return of Elias months after fans last saw him, but there was no appearance by his brother Ezekiel. During the show, Elias gave an update on Zeke, and it appears that the latter's days as a wrestler are over. In a promo, Elias said how Ezekiel's career has been tragically cut short before adding that the show must go on. Elias also made his presence felt during the US title main event between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, so it's not implausible that he could soon be challenging for the title. As for Ezekiel, his days in the ring are over, and we're wishing him the best in his future endeavors. And we're ending with AEW, as Sammy Guevara has proven himself in the world of pro wrestling, but now he's taking his skills to the world of professional boxing. On Twitter, the 3-time former TNT champion confirmed that he's heading to Dubai for the upcoming Global Titans fight series. Fans hoping to see the cocky wrestler get knocked out, though, will be disappointed, as Guevara won't be fighting, and he will attend the event as a backstage correspondent and commentator. Guevara won't be fighting, but we know that former AEW star Bobby Fish will be competing, and will use his background in kickboxing. Global Titans Fight Night will take place at the Coca-Cola Arena on November 13th, with a private weigh-in event set a day earlier in what will no doubt be an intense event. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.